this recipe is you'll need 1 cup of softened butter. Now, my butter is not softened, so I will in fact have to put it in a microwave. Now my trick is to put it in a bowl and then put a plate on top of it and then put it in a microwave. Now before I get too far into this recipe, I want you to know that this made me approximately 36 cookies. So do with that what you will. I also am not a certified baker, so take that into account. This is a recipe I found like 4 years ago online somewhere. Anyways, yeah. So here's my butter, and here's me wiping my hands. And there's my plate. There's my plate, my plate, my plate. And here's me going to put it in the microwave. That's me pointing. This is my butter, partially softened, partially melted. Another thing I should probably tell you is that you have to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. There's me going off camera and then back on, and here's me struggling to get the butter out of the bowl. Remember, this is 1 cup of softened butter. The next thing I need is 1 cup of sugar. Really just 1, I'm kinda surprised. And the directions clearly state I need to cream together the sugar and butter. Okay, cream together. So here's me struggling to get the sugar. Maybe I should have kept this in the video, but whatever. And again, that is 1 cup of white sugar. I am a little surprised it is only 1 cup. The next thing you need is brown sugar. You need, again, 1 cup of brown sugar. Now, with the brown sugar, you have to make sure you pack it in really nicely, or you will not get the full 1 cup, okay? So this might take a second, but it will be worth it, okay? So here is me filling up my 1 cup. Oh, and magically, it's full. Also, do you guys know what those little balls of sugar are? I always just take them out because I'm not really sure what they are. Anyways, now you cream it together. This is my utensil, my choice of utensil for this. I also cook scrambled eggs with this utensil. I don't know what I would call it. So here's me creaming it together. It is a little bit of an annoying process, but it is worth it, trust me. And later it gets a lot worse once you add flour, so. Now, I must warn you that some of these angles you will see in this video are not very flattering on me, especially when I'm working really hard to stir in all the ingredients. So you should just ignore that, thank you very much. Also, let me know if you like this video. It is low-key taking forever to record it because I have to do this voiceover that I'm doing right now. And it is taking a lot of takes to do, so. But I'm still creaming and everything. Oh, and here's me done with it and scraping it off with a spoon. The next step in making these delicious cookies is to add 2 eggs once I'm done scraping this off. Wow, I'm low-key slow. Okay, here are my eggs of choice. You have 2 eggs, okay? Make sure you have a towel nearby and your yard waste bin nearby so you can easily discard them. Now, I made a massive mess while doing this, and there is a huge eggshell in there. I'm not very good at this. I also, when I hit it against the counter, so much egg yolk went on the floor. It's very quite annoying actually, so make sure you just clean up your mess along the way. Now you whisk these ingredients in, and it does look kind of gross, but it will look better, I promise. You may also notice throughout this video that I will tragically spill something and make a funny face. Hopefully you find it humorous, because I did not. mess along the way. That is my one huge tip for baking. Oh, and here's me spilling again. See, I told you. I'm not much of a cook, so I have quite a few tips for baking. Next step is adding vanilla extract. I said the wrong, but whatever. You need 2 teaspoons of it, okay? I got this one from Mexico, which is pretty cool. And it will last me years. In fact, I got it over a year ago, and I've only used this much. Anyways, you mix this in with it, and it doesn't say whisk it, so I used the same utensil I used it to cream the sugar and butter to mix in the vanilla. Here's me mixing and mixing. I'm kind of folding it, to be honest, but it'll get the job done. Wow, taking forever at this. Well, I need to hurry up. It does not take that long. Yep, and I'm almost done with this. I'm very meticulous with my art of cookies. Now this next step, I do not follow the recipe for. It tells me to take 2 teaspoons of hot water and mix it with 1 teaspoon of baking soda. But I do not feel like doing that. So I just mix 1 teaspoon of baking soda into my concoction. You're also supposed to add your salt, which I forgot to do with the baking soda, but it does not matter. My cookies turned out great. So if you are baking cookies along with me, add the baking soda with the salt, okay? So I'm gonna mix it in just like I did the vanilla extract. I keep on saying that wrong, but whatever. I'm just gonna call it vanilla. And here I'm mixing. Even though I should have added the salt already, but whatever. I am not aware of that currently. Okay, and time for the salt, I believe. For the salt, you'll need half a teaspoon, okay? Again, you're supposed to mix it with the baking soda, but I didn't realize, but it's fine. So I'm gonna mix it in the same way, okay? And now make sure you do not confuse salt and sugar, okay? I've done that before. Well, I almost did that, and it almost ended horribly. So do not mix up the salt and sugar, or don't mix up half a teaspoon for half a cup of salt, okay? Please do not do that. Okay, and here's me done mixing it. What's the next step, guys? Okay, you need 1 cup of... Oh, you need 3 cups of flour, that's what it is. We'll need 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Now, I barely have any flour left in my little container, so I have to add some, okay? This is probably my least favorite part of the baking process, at least with the cookies, because mixing in this flour is so much work, okay? It is an arm workout, but again, I promise you it's worth it in the end. I also hand mix it, so you can totally feel free to, what is it called, like, use a hand mixer, yeah. case you were wondering, I got my apron at the Goodwill bins. I've never worked at Taco Time, and I assume it's like a real employee's outfit that they just like donated, but I'm not really sure. This might seem like a weird ASMR video, like concept-wise, but I've never really seen anyone do baking ASMR. I did, like right after or before I filmed this, I did look up some ASMR, like baking ASMR, and I did find some really good ones, but there was only like 2 creators doing it, so I thought I'd give it a try. I also wanted to try out doing this voiceover, and I think it's sounding pretty good. This section of the video is probably the longest. That isn't good, just because it takes forever, like I said. Here's me